People who I want to appeal to make those little slips. It happens. You have to have a plan to manage your problems effectively. How are you going to do it? Fall off the horse? Just jump right back on.
And we're back.
Yeah, just like that, we're back, and it's that time in the morning whereby we broke it down with Jenny. There you go, girl. Loving your colors. Yeah. Welcome and good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Belize.
Yeah, always so elegant. I love that. I love that. It is a fun Friday, Jenny.
And it's going to be a fun Friday.
I'd love to hear you sing.
Huh?
Huh? There we go. I'm just messing with you.
Did you say it or sing?
Sing.
Oh, sing.
Yeah, I love to hear you.
You're watching me. I was sing with you. My voice is not holding it together today.
Let's get on into it. Marlene, that message, Marlene here. Women's communication. Women's communication. I went through the slide this morning, and there is a lot we need to venture off into.
Yes,
and what it does, just on a discussion like the one we had 2 weeks ago, it allows for us men to learn to listen much more. So I definitely want to venture off into women's communication.
So it's not really women's communication, it's how men need to communicate with women. So gentlemen,
I think the men just shut you off. Like they just changed the channel.
How to communicate with your lady without starting World War III.
Good one. Good one.
I'm just gonna sit back, John, and take this one.
You're still to this one, huh, Marlene?
I'm just gonna stay out of this one.
So the main thing is communicate even if it's uncomfortable or uneasy for you. It's so important. The last topic we had
was helping women communicate with men.
Right, how women communicate and how important communication is. Your relationship will die if you don't communicate. But I need to make a disclaimer for the men. I need to really make a disclaimer. All women are not alike. In fact, I don't think no two women are alike. We are complex. We're very complex creatures. We are very emotional creatures, unlike men who are very, what word am I looking for, Marlene?
We were socialized to be more emotional.
More emotional. And men are more
reserved with their feelings.
In fact, they will silence. They will be silent.
Yes.
In fact, they will give you the silent treatment if you're not careful. Okay.
And you know, that's where one of the biggest
shut down. I think.
Yeah, they do.
One of the biggest shut out from men is we're not able to accept and appreciate the fact that our wives or our women are very emotional. We tend to shove away emotions, and that's
you aren't socialized like that.
Yeah.
No.
I don't like saying it that way though, not you, because we said it before. Yesterday in the eye opener we talked about tears and letting tears shine through, and Gavin was here and we talked about the socialization of men and women, and I think it is key for us sometimes to kind of start with the right messaging. Women aren't emotional. Aren't we all emotional beings, men and women? But like one expresses more and one holds more.
Yes, absolutely.
Because when you say women are emotional, it's almost like saying only women have. I mean, I know you don't mean it, but and we don't mean it, but I mean like it gives an impression that women have emotions versus men don't.
But see, it's how we as mothers socialize, and fathers, how we socialize our boys.
Yeah.
Because if a boy cries, you know, we call him all kinds of names.
Yeah.
He's supposed to get angry, not cry. And so it's almost as if we bring up our boys saying to them that it's not okay to show emotions.
Yeah.
We socialize them like that. Yeah. Right.
And they have them. They have feelings.
They have feelings. They have tear ducts too. You know, if you see or parent sees a boy child playing with a doll, they really go off and have a conniption. Even the mothers, they really have a conniption. You know, because boys are not supposed to play with dolls. Well, dolls teach boys how to be tender. If they play with a doll, how to be nurturing. And now I see men with their babies, and I love it. I take pictures if I sneakily take pictures, because you see them with their babies, and they're so loving with these little babies. And I love seeing that, because that's a new phenomenon we're seeing.
Because once upon a time they were like
hands off. They'll throw the babies, but they were not going to hug them.
For a minute or two, and then that's it. You want to,
So it's changing. The younger folks are changing that, and I'm so happy to see it.
Finally.
So the disclaimer is that women are like snowflakes. No two are alike. No two women are alike. We're very complex creatures. Okay, we're one of a kind, I like to think. So the first thing, let's jump straight into it. The first thing, man. When your lady is talking, you really need to listen. You know how men are such logical creatures. So when we're talking, we start talking about the feelings. We talk about what's hurting us or what's making us upset. We go into that, and it's kind of drawn up, because the more we talk, the more
you process.
Yes, we're processing as we're going along, and we can look at you and see your eyes start turning over in your head. We see it.
I'd like for you to brook something.
A glance at a clock, glance at the phone because the notification went off.
I'm glad.
Don't you dare touch it, though.
I'm so glad that we are able to actually dissect each slide. You did mention something that I'd like clarity on. You said men are such logical creatures. What do you mean?
You guys, okay, there's a problem. There's something. You come home from work and there's something that's happening. You want to get to the answer right away. So you don't process. We process. We're going through it, and we're thinking about how we felt about it, and we're processing it. You guys go straight to the point. And you want us to go straight to the point too, right? You're very logical, you're very organized. And therein can be the problem, because you lose interest halfway through our processing, and we can tell that's the thing, because your eyes literally, you see your eyes begin to stray, right? You also begin to twitch, like you're doing right now.
Anyways. No, it's very important that, especially for us men, we listen to this, because these are some of the things that we continue to say each other, especially being in our boys group. We're gonna say, we're logical creatures, We're the logical creatures. And I'd like to ask the question, aren't women logical as well?
Yeah, we are logical, but we process things.
Yeah.
We are very logical, but we process. We're methodical.
Yeah, thank you. I can.
We are very methodical.
So we go step by. It's so crazy. I find with men, and it's not all men. Again, we don't like doing the blanket thing,
right?
But they're like, okay, so the chair is shaking. Put something on it. Done.
Instant to put paper towel on and make it stop shaking.
So for us, it's okay. What is the chair missing? Can I find it? Will I be able to fix it with that piece of thing that I may find? And it's like, I won't directly go to putting the paper under the chair. I will think step by step, and if I can't find the missing piece, then I'll go, okay, we have to buy something, and temporarily. So I may get to your conclusion, but I have to go through all the steps.
Right.
Is that
right. Yeah. That's how we are built.
This is very nice, very important.
Now the thing is, though, you guys are Mr. Fixits, and we'll talk about Mr. Fixits later.
Okay.
Okay, because you all want to get straight to the point, and that robs us of the opportunity to think through it for ourselves. Yeah. You understand?
I'm with you.
Yeah. So, and then the other thing, it's like once you hear something, you kind of shut your ears off, because you want to. It's true. They shut their ears off.
Yeah.
You hear the answer, you hear something that's important, You don't hear anything else. You stuck right where you heard that important piece of information.
Yeah.
And it's
And
so
then
important.
wait for you to finish to respond. They haven't even listened to the rest.
They don't hear anything else after what that particular piece of information, and that's what gets you all in trouble, because you didn't hear the rest of the conversation, because you were so concentrating on what you heard. And so I put here, listen all the way. Then you ask questions, or then and ask questions. Don't say do this, do this, do this. Ask questions. Help us to process. The most important thing you can take out of this slide is let us process. Women need to do that. We really do.
We want to vent.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Oh dear.
Active listening.
Hey, let me get there. Now, what is active listening? When people talk, listen completely, because most people never listen. So for active listening, I want to make eye contact. Okay, you need to make eye contact with me so I know you're listening. You need to acknowledge that, yeah, I'm hearing you, honey. In fact, ask me some questions. So what did that mean, or how did that happen? Ask a few questions, you know, what we call some probing questions. Or just repeat back what you heard. Did I hear you say this and this and this? So that I know you're listening. You're not just sitting there making eye contact and shaking your head at me, but you're actually asking me something that shows that you actually were listening to what I'm saying. Active listening is very involved.
So basically, you don't just play the role of the listener because you feel this will keep her or just will shut her out eventually. You've got to engage in the conversation with her.
Exactly. Listen, when you do active listening, I feel so validated. Oh, I love you all over again because I feel so validated. He's listening.
I'm observant, right? This is.
You understand?
Yes, yes.
It's really, really important to do active listening with your loved one.
Yeah.
It's important to do to children.
Yes.
It really is.
And it starts with eye contact. I mean, sometimes we really, I find more and more, and we all do it. We have the phone and we're like, yeah, I listen. Yeah.
Yes, man, I listen to you, man.
But not really. And even if you are, like if you can do that multitasking challenge, the person speaking doesn't feel listened to.
But you cannot multitask and communicate.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
Totally impossible. So you've got to give me the eye contact. Put the phone down, put the computer down, look at me.
Yeah.
Actively listen.
Active listening.
Yeah.
Participatory listening.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Next slide, loving it.
3, do not be a Mr. Fixit. And I put a Mr. Fixit up there for you. You know, Mr. Guy men are fixers. Men want to get to the point and tell you what to do. I don't want you to tell me what to do. I know what to do. I'm going to figure it out. What I want you to do is to sit here and question me and talk with me so that I can come up with my own way of doing things. Don't fix it for me. You want to get my woman mad? Tell her what to do. Tell her what to do.
It also kills the communication too, because if every time I bring something to you, you only come with telling me what to do, I don't want to bring anything to you anymore, because that wasn't the purpose of the conversation.
I've got a question. Are women active listeners?
What do you mean?
Do we listen actively?
I think any person can. It's a skill set.
Yeah. Anybody can, but we tend to do it more because that's how we're built. You know.
Men can be active listeners. Women can be.
We want men to learn to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We really want men. I'm telling you, your loved one will love you so much when you start looking in her eyes and listening to her and asking her questions. Clarify that for me. I didn't understand what that meant, or you say something that she said back to her. It's like, wow, he's really listening.
Yeah.
Shock and surprise.
So, Mr. Fixit, don't give solutions.
Don't give solutions.
Okay, so what if I start off with, man, I have a problem. Such and such happened today. I mean, that's almost like invitation for, let me tell you how to fix that problem. mean, is it
Don't walk
important
in-
how we face?
Don't walk into it. Don't fall into the trap. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. You know,
So instead of solutions, what can they do?
instead of giving a solution, ask questions.
Yeah.
Always ask questions.
Yeah.
Not even give any kind of suggestions. Ask questions.
Ask
So how would you handle it, babe?
Or what are you
What are
thinking
you
of doing?
thinking of doing?
And you know, I love that you said that, because that's where we're lacking indeed, whereby I wouldn't ask my wife without having all this. Because look, I'm in a university here. I'm getting it firsthand for free. We wouldn't ask our wives, so babe, how you handle that?
Or what do you want to do about it?
So what do you want to do about it? How you want to handle that? So what if the answer is, you know what, babe? I don't know. I really don't know at this time.
Oh, we weren't. Oh, you mean like if
Like
the woman
she
says,
said
We're
that.
oh,
having a
okay.
conversation. We're having a conversation, and my wife Jenny just has tell me, you know what, this is what's going on, and that's what's going on, and I come up with the right question here. So, babe, so how would you handle that? And then you say to me, you know what, babe, I don't know at this time. I don't know. Wouldn't it be then that the logical
fall into
part
the
of
trap. Do
Hold on, hold on,
not
hold on.
fall
Okay,
into
all right,
the
all
I
trap.
don't know any woman who you should have
that's
stuff that I don't know. Because I don't know is like a beginning of like your own thought process kickstart. I don't know. But you know, I thought about X, Y, Z, and L, M, N, O, P, and Q, R, S, T.
Okay.
Fall-
all right,
do
all
not
right,
fall
all
into
right.
that trap.
Okay, all right.
Don't.
This is the reason why it's important to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Because if I ask Sabib, how do I, what are you going to do? Your answer just now as the mental health expert is to tell me, do not fall in that trap. So
Not
the lesson there,
fall in
not fall
that-
in that trap.
I mean, if she asks you to, what do you think I should do? I mean, you can say
You can
something.
give what I
suggestion.
would do.
Yeah.
I think I would do it this way, but you're not telling do
But you
this.
don't have to do it that way.
I think I would probably do this or this or this.
Yeah.
But I don't tell you.
Can I just say, on behalf of women, accept if she doesn't want to do it your way. Accept. Don't get your bruised ego. Right?
I love it. But yeah.
So, but it is key. And another thing too, if somebody says, I don't know, there's a reason why silence helps sometimes. You know, like it gives you don't have to be filling time with talk. So if she says, I don't know,
Let her think.
give her a couple seconds.
Give her some time.
Silence is good. And then she'll probably continue speaking from there. It isn't necessary for you to immediately rebut.
Yep.
All right.
At least that's what I find.
I agree.
Yeah.
Give. Because we are processing. We're constantly processing.
Yeah.
Of course.
Your wife comes in and says, babe, how does outfit look? You think I look fatina this? What would you do?
I don't know.
What would you
What
say?
would you say?
Well, I'd tell her if she looks fat in it, I'd tell her, babe, I think Wally wait there. I don't
What, you want to get crucified?
And that's the reason for the conversation. That's why I say I'm getting it for free. So what do you?
That's a trap, okay?
So the response is, what should be a response? Because this happens every day, and today is Friday. Today is Friday. Wife and husband might go out. She got this wonderful dress that she wants to wear. She will ask the question tonight. Yeah, you think I look fatty in this dress?
So what would you say if she doesn't look good in the dress?
I think that you need to put something here or put something there. That's how I feel. What do I say?
It depends on the woman. Yeah.
It really depends. But if I were you, I would stay to that. That's a trap.
So what do I do there? So I don't say anything and say, babe, yes, you look good.
I would say, you know, babe, you're not a woman. Make we call your sister. Why would I ask your sister's opinion? See, she's a woman.
Sister, no, there.
How your friend? What you have?
I'm always good with.
Don't get your cake. Don't get. That's a trap. I'm telling
Oh my
you.
God.
Or you can just suggest another outfit too. So
You know what?
yeah.
I really love that green outfit you had on
Yeah.
a few months ago. I
Just
love
wear
that.
Everybody
that was 2 months ago, darling, and I love seeing you in it. I love the way you look in it. Give her a compliment for something else. No falling in that trap of ever telling your wife that you put on weight or you look fat.
So while we're on this, and I love it. While we're on this, and I say, you know what, babe, I love that green dress you wore about 2 months ago. Remember that party that we went and wore that green dress? Why don't you put that on? I love that.
Would you put that on for me? I would just love to see you in that again, or something like that.
See, that sounds so much different from that.
Yes.
Would you put that on for me?
And, you know, and so, and that I think that's the way to go indeed. Not telling her to put it on, but asking her, would you put that on for me? Because I really love that.
Suggestions. In a loving way, right? I always remember, if you have to say something that might come out badly, compliment first. Buttress it. Compliment whatever you have to say here, then compliment, right?
Okay.
Make it a sandwich.
Yes. Make a sandwich out of it.
Okay, cool. Make a sandwich. Yeah, that's not just saying.
But always no fall for that.
I look for Tina this dress.
Don't fall for it. A lot of times they come to ask you for hear what you think. It's a trap. Run.
All right.
Pay attention to body language. Okay. When you're having communication, you're talking with your lady. It's more than what she says. There's also the body language that goes along with it. You have to read the body language too. Very important. Now, so sometimes, you know, she may come in and she's smiling and she's talking with you. But if you look at her shoulders or you look at how she looks, you can tell from her body language something is wrong. Right? So the gentle thing to do is what?
I'm listening.
And then what would you do?
If I notice the body language, her body language, I would normally ask, are you okay? Is everything all right?
Is everything okay?
Yes.
And you noticed. You noticed. Okay.
You know, for me, if we're at home or I pick up my wife, instantly from her facial reaction or her body language, I would notice that, okay, something is wrong. And that's when you ask the question, babe, everything all right?
Yeah.
And her response would be, I don't want to talk about it right now, or nothing, everything all right. What do I do in that situation? You know that something is wrong. You feel it, you sense it, you see it, and you ask the question, babe, everything all right? And her response would be, everything all right. What do you do there?
You know, it's interesting, baby, but I noticed that even though you say everything is okay, I'm looking at your shoulders and they're kind of bent forward, and you're not smiling your usual smile of welcome. So I'm just a little concerned about what's going on. Describe what you're seeing. Instead of saying, you know, is something wrong? You put me on the spot because now I have to tell you what's wrong and I'm not ready. I want to process it. Describe what you're seeing and say, I'm here when you're ready to talk, okay?
And that's the response a lot of us don't know how to say. I am here when you're ready to talk.
Yeah. When you're ready to talk.
Yeah.
Normally the response would be, I see something wrong, man, just tell me that what happened.
Yeah, so don't force her to do it in that moment. If she says, you know, it's okay. And I think it depends on the comfort level, because then I could go back later and be like, you know, you're right. I have this thing bugging me and I don't know how to deal with it. I had a conversation with my sister and now I just feel like me, you know, I could go off. But that's what it is. It's like we have to be in that place to say, so maybe we can't hide it physically. But we have to be in that place. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
One key to good communication in relationships is listening to what is being said and what is not being said. So very important to pay attention to the body language. Own your feelings. Use I statements. You can't go around using I statements. Nobody can beat you up for owning your feelings. So I don't want to blame you for something. I own my feelings. And there's a way of doing I statements. Okay, so
teach us.
So how do you use an I statement? Well, this is also assertiveness, by the way. So I feel. So for example, if you're wanting to talk to your lady friend, your wife, Something has happened. So instead of going in and saying, you know what, and I don't like when you do this and blah, and it's out there. What I want to do instead is say, you know, I feel hurt. Men don't like to use the word hurt, but it's okay to say, if you're hurt, say it. I feel hurt. That grabs attention with the feeling when you come in and you start using curse words at me, right? Because, so say why does it hurt you? Because I feel less than. I feel like you're coming in and you're trampling on top of me with something from work. I'd like to, what I would prefer, what I would want is that come in instead and talk to me. Talk to me and tell me what's wrong without the curse words. But tell her what you want. Would you consider instead waiting until we both have had supper and we sit down and we talk through it? So there's a set here, I put it in here.
All right, John, try it out. Try an I statement.
It doesn't remember. There it is right there.
Yes.
There it is.
Yeah.
So,
So just choose any scenario. And
Choose
how
a scenario.
okay.
Use it.
Scenario would be, okay, that.
So where you normally say, you did this, you did that, you this, you know,
Like she
turning
would be
it
telling
around.
me, okay.
Whatever.
It happened last time, right?
Okay.
But I feel hurt. I feel hurt. I told you that.
No. I
stick
feel
to
hurt
this.
when.
Okay, so I feel hurt when you came in right after I changed the baby, and you mentioned that's not what I put out for her to wear.
Okay.
Because?
Because I feel, or I was really liking this particular outfit, knowing the time of the day.
I'd like.
I would like that for the next time around, your approach to me would be that, babe, this wasn't the one that I put out. It's hot, so I wanted her to wear this one. And
Would you consider it?
would you consider that I make that choice the next time around?
Love it.
Wait.
You did it!
You did it.
Henry, do you want to try it? Henry's shaking his head over there.
Yeah.
Rick, would you try it, Rick? Rick is like, no. He said no? Daryl? Let's see.
Yeah. Daryl would try it. Daryl would try that.
So, okay, so let's ask that question. They've all been socialized and conditioned. And you know, I mean, we can take some fault to us women, we raise them. Whatever age, can they actually change to adapt this way of talking?
Yes.
Henry, what, you're 60 now? You're what? 65.
Would you use it?
Yeah?
The thing is, it just takes a little bit of practice, but the thing is that it takes away the quarrels. It takes away the anger.
I feel blank when blank.
Let me
because blank.
Let me share something here. As men would say, probably we are not able to use it or we won't use it. But I'll tell you what we do. If something works, we tend to stick to that regimen. That's the way it is. So if I'm saying this and I notice that, okay, she actually listens. There is no cuss word. There is no hostility.
Escalation.
Yeah, I will use it again because then it's a method. It's basically that thing that works for us.
Yeah.
That's what.
So what's a common fight? Give us a scenario that we would try to do one for you, Henry. Anything.
He can't
Put up on the spot.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Time? Being late? Time in general. So yours would be, okay, being on time.
I feel hurt.
I feel, how do you feel?
Upset?
Yeah, I feel upset.
Huh?
Do you feel frustrated?
Yeah, I feel upset.
I feel frustrated.
All right, so we're talking about somebody when you're not sticking to time. All right. I feel frustrated when
I see a certain.
When we're not sticking to time because.
Throws up everything. Throws up, I guess, your plans.
Throws off your plans.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like for.
I'd like. Stick to 10. Would you consider?
Yeah.
You're going to give her something.
Yeah.
Would you consider trying to be
Being
on time?
more, he's just worried now because they want to turn the camera on him. But I mean, clearly, it's Jenny and I are the females in here for now. So the guys are really tuned in.
Oh my God, yes.
I just did that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. But because I know that sometimes we talk about these things, and I feel the same way too. You know, we talk about it, and it's like, yeah, it sounds great, but can I do it?
It's so easy, and you know what? This is like assertiveness training too, because what happens is it eliminates all the quarrels. It eliminates people being angry because it's your feelings.
It is your.
I'm talking about my feelings. I'm not blaming you for anything. I am owning my feelings.
That's right.
Okay.
So you start with I feel, when, because.
And I like.
And then you move into your solution.
Right.
You guys are easy with solutions.
Right. It's really easy. It's really, really easy. Just takes a little bit of practice. But I'm telling you, it eliminates quarrels.
Yeah, it does.
It really eliminates quarrels.
Man, that sounds like a magic pill. Guys should try that.
I really wish they would try it because it works. I'm telling you, it works.
All right, we got it.
Works.
Thank you, Jenny. All women across Belize are saying, thank you, Jenny. That was a good try.
Think before you speak. Words can hurt.
Yeah.
It's not what you say a lot of times. It's how you say
How you
it.
say it.
So please think, and this goes for both sides, women and men.
Yes.
Think about the words you use. Think about the things you say. My mom used to say, the 3 things that come not back: the spent arrow, the spoken word, and something else. But I always remember that spoken word because you can't take it back. And words have power.
Yeah,
So we really need to be very careful about the things that we say and the names we call people.
Yeah.
Avoid using words like never. You never do this for me. You never do that. And you always do this. Nobody always does anything. There are occasions when they did do something else.
Yeah.
Right? And nobody never does anything. There are times when they did do something. So using that, it's such a blaming thing and it's so awful.
Yeah, it is.
So those are 2 words you want to eliminate from your vocabulary when you're
Never
talking to
and
your
always.
spouse. Yes, absolutely. And then work at when you're having a disagreement, work on one person talking at a time. Because if both of you try to talk together, it doesn't work. You can sing together,
Yeah.
but you can't argue together. You can't talk all at once when it's a disagreement.
You said thank you? Is that what you just said? Okay, one at a time.
Really,
You could always have a
important.
talking stick.
I love talking sticks. I love talking
If I have the
sticks.
talking stick, I talk.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
you give that to you. Say, okay, you talk, and I can't
And if
say
they try to
anything.
interrupt, you put up the talking
Yep.
stick. It's a good reminder.
right.
It sounds crazy, but
So
it
the
works.
person with the stick
It's the one who talks.
is the one who talks. Okay.
And you don't want to run on. You give. You
And they'll grab it out of their hand either.
you say what you need to say, and then you hand it over.
Yeah.
And what this person does then is paraphrase what you said. So because sometimes, depending on our filters, I may not have heard the right thing.
Yeah.
You may say something and I totally misinterpreted it.
Yeah.
You will hear what I misinterpreted and correct it.
Yeah.
You give it back and say, okay. You say, but that's not what I said, babe. What I said was, and you correct it, right? But one at a time. It eliminates quarrels, arguments. It's wonderful. Talking sticks are amazing. Love them.
And I think that's a beautiful point to close off on, right? From talking sticks to, once again, John, I feel
wait, hold on. When,
Because.
and I'd like, or I want,
Uh-huh.
and would consider.
Would
Yeah,
you
would you consider?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It was say, would you mind doing it? You put it in your own
Yeah,
words. Would
yeah.
you mind doing it this way?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
I
cool.
love it.
All right.
Jenny,
There we go.
you know what? I've got a song for you. You are the best, my girl.
All right.
Thank you.
You come back next week and tell us about how effective the I feel when because statement
John,
is.
it's assertiveness training
Yeah.
too.
Yes,
It's
yes.
wonderful.
All right.
Thank you, Jenny, very much.
My pleasure.
All right, so we balanced it out. We did the men, now we did the women.
I enjoyed doing this one. I really did.
Yeah, excellent.
And of course, you can always look back on the conversation if you missed the men's side of it. That was 2 weeks ago, but thank you once again. We got to take a break though, and we got to get talking about Sugar City Tacos Fest. That's coming up after the break.
To manage your problems effectively. How are you going to do it? Fall off the horse? Jump right back on.